Hello, I'm Michael Frank, Administrative Services Director of the City of Santa Rosa. This is our second video budget blog, to keep the public informed about what's going on with the city's budget problem and various budget issues. The first video blog was on budget basics, some basic information about how the city's budget works and what resources we're talking about and which funds of the city we're talking about. We're going to focus on the general fund today, and we're going to talk about the budget problem, which unfortunately has gone from an ongoing problem, an annual ongoing problem of originally we thought 10 million, then it grew to 15 million, and presently we believe it's about $20 million ongoing deficit. And by that we mean that revenues are not enough to cover the cost of expenditures and the cost of services. Given what's going on in the economy, I think most folks can relate to what's going on with the city of Santa Rosa. So first off, we had a housing crisis. Secondly, we had a credit crisis. And these are national things as well. We more recently have a recession, and all of these things combined have hit just where the general fund in the city gets its revenues and resources. So I showed actually a pie chart, which I'll put up again in the first video blog. It shows where the city gets its revenues, where the general fund, and you see there that 62% of the city's revenue resources in the general fund come from either sales tax and property-related fees and taxes. If we look at just sales tax, we have had 9 consecutive quarters of sales tax decline. That's the most in the city's history. And then on the other side, if we look at property-related fees and taxes, so this is property tax, and it's also real property transfer tax, and also development fees that developers pay when they build new units and homes in our community. They make up 38% of our revenue, and likewise the growth in assessed valuation in our community was less than 1%, and that is the smallest increase in the city's history. So the combination of those and a recession, which a deep and what's expected to be a deep and long recession, means that there is not an end in sight right now in terms of where the city's revenues are headed. So the problem is facing us as a city, as an organization, is we don't know where the bottom is. In other words, we're seeing things with regard to our property taxes, our sales taxes, various fees, development, that we've never seen as a city. So it's very difficult for us to say when we've hit bottom and what bottom looks like, because we have never been there. And that's a challenge for us as a community, as an organization, as a budget staff. It's how do you forecast when you have nothing in the past to tell you where you might be headed? So that's one of the reasons why this deficit has grown from 10 million to 20 million in a relatively short period of time. So as I mentioned, our budget problem is about 20 million on an ongoing annual basis. So I thought I'd just close here. We'll do another video blog specifically on what are we going to do about this problem. But I thought I'd close by just saying that it has not been business as usual for a long time in the city. I've been with the city for 4 years, and almost from the day I arrived, we've been dealing with budget issues. There are various ways that you can deal with these issues. One, you can try and generate more revenue, which has its own difficulties in this particular environment. You can reduce service levels. You can work with your bargaining units and unions in your organization to reduce benefits or compensation. You can work to create efficiencies in the organization. So those are some examples that the city is working on, and I'll talk in a lot more detail in a future video blog about that. Again, our website is srcity.org. Go to Administrative Services and you can find out additional information and presentations there.